One of the main consequences of the economic crisis is unemployment. In the business cycle, there is always unemployment. There are two kinds of good unemployment. These are frictional and structural. However, cyclical unemployment is negative because it shows that there is a decrease in the aggregate demand curve. Cyclical unemployment is a symptom that we are in the trough of the business cycle. During the Panic of 1873, Carroll G. Wright, who served in the Massachusetts Senate, tried to count the number of unemployed. He only counted those who were truly searching for employment. We now measure the unemployment rate counting only those who are actively searching for jobs. This does not include discouraged workers who are no longer currently looking for employment. Long-term unemployment is alarmingly high in the U.S. Half the unemployed have been out of work for over 6 months, something we have not seen since the Great Depression. Unemployment by March of 2009 was 8.5%. This qualifies as a recession by economists because GDP has fallen for at least 2 consecutive quarters. Let's look at how unemployment has been affected in some specific areas. In New York City, 2 years ago, the unemployment rate was 5.8%. In January 2010, it was 10.6%. In New York City, on December 31st, 95,000 people will exhaust their unemployment benefits, and this number is only going to rise. Nevada's jobless rate has fallen for the first time since 2007. State unemployment is now 14.2%, but many have left the job market. In January 2010, their unemployment rate was a shocking 13%. If you look at discouraged workers and part-time workers, the unemployment rate is closer to 25%. Even with gains in recent months, Maryland has ways to go to get out of joblessness. Maryland private businesses added 7,000 jobs in October of 2010, but the state's job list is 80,000 behind what it was in December of 2007 when this recession began. There was an astonishing number of layoffs from 2008 till June 2009. Throughout the beginning of 2009, there continued to be a huge increase in unemployment. As a lagging indicator, unemployment rate remains after the economy as a whole has recovered. It is interesting to note that industries that did not have as many layoffs were education, government jobs, utilities, oil and gas, and telecommunications, whereas the industries dealing with consumer goods had a lot more layoffs. This was clearly happening because there was less of a demand for things that were luxuries, and people decided they only needed the necessities. To compare to the Great Depression, there was not nearly as much unemployment during this Great Recession. The unemployment rate was 25% then, whereas the highest it has reached during these times is 8.5%. However, during the Great Depression, the government only spent 1.5% of GDP in 1 year on emergency spending programs such as works programs. Today, we have the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act, and we are spending 2.5% of our annual GDP in this program. The American Reinvestment and Recovery Act was intended to create jobs and promote investment during this recession. $400 million was spent on unemployment services, and $3.45 billion was spent on job training. These programs will help decrease our unemployment and promote our economic recovery.